1 second. Did you see me log in as Kendra?
Let me try going in again. 1 moment.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me? I just want to do a sound check. Yay.
Yeah.
Good. Welcome, everybody. We have about 7 more minutes before we get started, but I'm glad that you guys are on early. I'd like to learn a little bit about who's in the audience today. Can anybody just tell me where you're calling in from?
My name is Ludmila. I'm calling from California, San Jose.
Hey, you're just down the street in San Jose.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Sun Young Kim, where are you calling in from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Pacifica.
Oh, not too far away. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Great. Let's see who else is on the line. Carolina Fernandez, I think. Can you hear us? If you unmute your microphone, you will be able to talk. Christy, welcome. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
And where are you calling in from? From a very bright room. It looks nice.
Yeah, I'm calling from Dublin, California.
Okay, not Ireland. Okay.
No.
Wonderful. We have a few minutes before we get started, so it's about 6 more minutes. But I thought we would I just love to hear where people are calling in from, and also kind of just learn about who's in the audience. So you're attending this session. What are you hoping to get out of this, Chrissy?
Actually, I'm just sort of trying to figure out what direction to go, because I have an accounting degree and I worked for the Department of Insurance for a number of years as an auditor, but I got married and I wasn't working for a while, and now I'm trying to kind of figure out how to get back into a career. And in the meantime, I went to law school, but I did not pass the bar exam.
Oh, okay. Not a problem. Wow, you've got a lot of stuff in your background, your educational background. That's good. Ludmila, what are you hoping to get out of this conversation today?
I don't have accounting degree, but I'm doing bookkeeping already more than 5 years. So I want to get accounting degree. I have a bachelor, so I want to do master in accounting.
Okay. And you have a bachelor's in which degree?
I have mathematics.
Oh, in mathematics. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Great.
Hi, this is Carolina. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, we can. Welcome.
Awesome. Yay, thank you.
And where are you calling in from?
Oh, from Ave Maria, Florida.
Oh, wow. Wonderful. And you're going to attend this session because you want to get out of this session what?
So basically I have a bachelor's in business degree. and I want to get into accounting. So I wanted to learn more about accounting because I want to try to get into the master's program for accounting.
Great.
So that's kind of it.
Well,
Learn
welcome.
more.
So we're going to cover
Thank
a
you.
lot of, yeah. So those of you who have already kind of answered that question, I think we're going to like cover all of those questions or address your interests. But if I don't, we'll have a Q&A at the end. Kevin, where are you calling in from? Can you hear us, Kevin? And then we also have somebody who signed on as EM. I don't know, M. I don't know who that is. Can you identify yourself and let us know where you're calling in from? So the one way you can do, you can chat in the chat box if you are like at work and are unable to, you know, actually use the microphone, or you can unmute your microphone and talk into the, or just talk and we'll hear. So that's the kind of cool thing about this video conferencing service. You can use chat or you can just unmute your microphone. We had somebody else on the call who looked like they just dropped off. Or oh, there you are. Sun Young, what are you hoping to get out of this conversation today?
Actually, I'm international student, and my bachelor is education, and I finished accounting degree in South Korea. But after I had a child, I stopped working, and I want to go back to work. And I had several accounting experience in South Korea as clerk for U.S. Army in South Korea. So I wanna try to figure out how to go back to work.
Okay. So you're trying to get back out into the work field in the profession of accounting. Wonderful. A couple of other people joined us. If you just joined us, it looks like Yvette or Carla or Risa or Kevin, Z. If you unmute your microphone or chat, I'd love to hear where you're calling in from and why, or what are you hoping to get from this presentation today? Anybody can just answer, where are you calling in from and what are you hoping to get from this presentation?
I'm calling from Oakland, California, and just interested to know a little bit more about the program.
Okay, and who's speaking, may I ask?
Carla.
Carla? Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. It looks like we have new people also joining, Sergio and Vamshi. If you want to just unmute your microphone. We have about a minute before we get started. So if you introduce yourself, just tell us where you're calling in from and where, what are you hoping to get from this presentation today?
My name is Kevin. I'm calling from Orinda, California, and I plan to make my GGU application very soon. And it'd be nice to have that fee waiver code.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you for joining. Great, great. So it's 12 o'clock, and I know more people have joined, and others will join. So before we get started, just a little bit about some housekeeping rules. I'm going to mute everybody's microphone, but when we get to Q&A at the end, you can either unmute your microphone or just simply chat in the chat box so that, one second, sorry. So that anybody can chat in the chat box or unmute their microphone to ask questions. I'm going to cover quite a bit of information, and this is going to be recorded. So later on, if you have questions like we didn't cover something or you didn't understand something, definitely you can go back and watch the video. We'll send you the link to the video. And as Kevin said, I think it was Kevin that just said he's interested in getting the waiver code. We will be sending out the waiver code in an email either later today or tomorrow. So you will get it. If you have not already applied, you can use that waiver code to waive the $65 fee. My name is Rocco Lamana. I'm the Associate Dean for the School of Accounting and the Bruce F. Braden School of Taxation. Joining me on this call is my lovely colleague, Chu Kim. Chu, do you want to just do a quick introduction?
Hi, my name's Chu Kim. I'm the Domestic Enrollment Counselor for Accounting. Thank you for coming.
And you may have already been communicating with Chu. So she will be the person you will be working with through the application process. So anyhow, she'll be here to answer questions at the end as well. Okay. So a couple of things that we definitely want to focus on in our conversation today. And the first thing is perhaps why you chose to attend this webinar and why you are thinking about Golden Gate University is because there are certain things that differentiate Golden Gate University experience from other universities that you may have previously attended or you are looking into. So we're really appreciative that you're here today. But there are some things that we do want to call out. And if you look at the word of each letter of the word, bullet point rather, you'll see that it spells out the word career. And this is a really important word for us because as most everybody that has talked here is looking at taking a graduate accounting program to either advance their career, get back in the profession, do something career related. So if you look at each letter of the word career, we've associated it with a kind of theme that differentiates Golden Gate University. And the first one is the C for classroom experience. What you'll learn whether you take classes in person or online, that the classrooms are at a size that's manageable where you get to easily converse with your colleagues and your faculty. Even on an online experience, unlike other universities, there is a live faculty member who's teaching behind the scenes, and he or she will do recorded lectures and things, and we'll talk a little bit more about the online experience, but you get to actually have a connection with that individual. The material that we're teaching is material that you need to know for the real world, and we kind of use that kind of quirky word phrase, real world, because we don't live in any other world but the real world. But what it really means is people who are teaching are bringing in the real world experiences from the firms that they work at. Our full-time faculty have a long history of experience in the profession. Our adjuncts are coming from the profession and bringing all of that material into the classroom. So it's always engaging, it's always applicable to what you're doing or will be doing. We have a great relationship with all of the firms in our community. Golden Gate University has been around for a long time. And in that length of time, we've been able to forge relationships with the accounting and tax professionals out there. And we foster a great relationship with them. They come here and recruit from us. Our location is also great. Whether if you're familiar with San Francisco, we're in the financial district. We're surrounded by the big four. We have also other size firms, mid-sized global national firms that kind of wrapped around us as well. If you live in another community, I know that we have somebody on the call from Florida. That doesn't mean that you can't find a job through us because you live outside of California. Our relationship with these accounting firms extends beyond California into other regions. So we're really fortunate to have a very strong recruitment relationship with these firms. I kind of already addressed the E for experienced, industry-leading faculty who stay on top of what's current and relevant, bring that into the curriculum, update curriculum regularly. We constantly partner with the industry professionals to make sure that what we are teaching and we're presenting is important for you to learn and take into the profession as you go out and delve into your career or advance in your career. We have graduate courses, I should say accounting courses, not tax courses, I apologize, but extensive graduate accounting courses. And what you're gonna learn today are about some new information or new things that are coming down the curriculum here, down the pipeline, if you will. And you're gonna hear it firsthand from me today. So this is gonna be great. And then we're also ranked. So if you're looking at universities, you should say, well, what makes them the university that they are? Why are they, are they ranked, and who by who, and what do these rankings mean? So one of the things is that I'm really proud of, for 4 consecutive years, we're #1 for adult learners by Washington Monthly. Washington Monthly is a leading journal and site for people who are looking for universities and programs that fit their needs. And as you're going to learn from this conversation today, we do a lot around adult learners and what it means to be an adult learner, and how do we meet your needs wherever you're at. We're also one of the online best accounting programs for 2019. And also Tax Talent has ranked us as one of the premier top tax accounting and tax programs in 2018. We haven't got the 2019 results yet. That should be coming forth soon. But we're in the top 5, and we have been for many years. So that's something that we're really proud of as well. But even if you look on LinkedIn, you connect with our alumni, they will tell you why they chose Golden Gate University and how they've progressed since they've left Golden Gate University and what that means for them. They are our biggest promoters. And so we're very often hearing that students come to these webinars or contact us because they know somebody that they work with, a colleague, a friend, a supervisor, somebody that has gone through Golden Gate University before and recommended it. Okay, so what are the benefits of our Master's of Science in Accounting degree? Well, I kind of already talked about the exciting career paths that you can take. But most people will think about public accounting, but we don't want to just have public accounting firms represent us. So we do have firms from private industry, from Oracle, from Synopsys. There are a variety of different private industries who recruit from us. So whether you're looking for a job in public accounting, where a lot of our students might end up or go first, but there's also a segment who might be interested in public or private industry. Government agencies is another area. Just recently, we received a lot of inquiries from government agencies to post jobs on our bulletin boards that really outline all of the job opportunities within the state of California, primarily. But there's a lot of opportunities within city and government federal government agencies. And then nonprofit organizations is another growing area of interest because they need professional accountants helping them balance their work, helping them identify opportunities for efficiencies. So nonprofit organizations can use talented people who graduate with a master's program. We have a high job placement rate with a Big 4. Simply say our students get hired. And there's a quick entry into accounting or tax industries. And even though I'm talking about the Masters of Science in Accounting today, we do have a tax concentration, which means that you can kind of work and live in both worlds of the accounting side or the tax side, which is a great opportunity to really broaden your skill set and make yourself even more attractive to the accounting professionals that are out there. We have a vast academic and professional network, not only with our adjuncts who come in, but our full-time faculty. In addition, we bring in a lot of different recruiters and partners from the firms who want to present on why you should choose their company, or they present on a special topic. So we allow or connect you with a lot of different resources for networking. We have a lot of support and mentoring, not only through your faculty, but we have tutoring, we have advising, we have a whole catalog of different services that you can take advantage of to make sure that you're successful from the beginning to the end of your program. The question I often get, and I've addressed it a little bit earlier, is where do your accounting students work? So here's a representation, and it's probably not visually the best, but it kind of gives you, and this is a new visualization that just came to us, and it has the latest survey results from our alumni. Where are they working? So of course, it's obvious that the larger circles represent where most of our alumni have gone. So you can see that we have good representation within the Big 4 firms, but also with other sized accounting firms. We see also public sector, Kaiser Permanente, Sperry Commercial, and then Salesforce. So there's a variety of different opportunities here. And again, it doesn't mean you have to work in California. If you're calling in from Florida or another part of the US or another part of the state, there are connections to job opportunities in your communities. So we're going to dive into the Master of Science in Accounting and how it's broken down. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about some new features coming down in the near future. Probably in the next month or so, we're going to have it all ironed out and we'll be talking about it. So I'm going to get you excited now and hope that this will really make you start thinking about the value of coming to Golden Gate University. So our Masters of Science in Accounting is, and we recently remodeled this. By the way, we've kind of done some changes and we rolled it out late fall last year. So it is new, but we're going to make more changes. And why are we making these changes? It's because we get feedback from the outside community, the people who recruit our students. And so we want to make sure that we're considering all of that feedback as we make modifications to our program. It is a 30-unit master's degree, and there are foundation courses and proficiency courses that are on top of that. So the general accounting proficiencies are typical courses that you either completed in your undergraduate degree or in a community college. Intermediate algebra, you need one of either micro or macroeconomics, and then you need financial management. All of these courses can come from a community college or your undergraduate degree. The accounting foundation courses are 15 units, and there's 5 courses, each equivalent to 3 units. An introductory to financial accounting, introductory to managerial accounting, intermediate accounting 1, intermediate accounting 2, or federal taxation. In order to have these accounting foundation courses equivalent to our courses, you need to have a B or higher in those courses. If you've taken them at a community college, we will accept those as long as they have a B or higher, or if you've completed them at undergraduate, in your undergraduate degree. If you haven't completed these at all, you can take these courses here. We have the undergraduate versions available that you can take here at Golden Gate University. Again, the way we will accept accounting foundation equivalencies is if you have a B or higher. For the accounting proficiencies, you need to have a C minus or higher. The accounting graduate program, like I said, is 30 units, 18 units of core courses, and then 12 units of electives. So you'll have the equivalent of 6 courses that will form the core courses, and then you have 4 courses, or the equivalent of 12 units for elective options. So here's a more detailed breakdown of what our program looks like. So the core courses are 12 units, 4 courses. You'll have an accounting, research, and communications class, a professional responsibility and ethics. And if you're sitting for the CPA or plan to do that, this course meets California's ethics requirement. In the ethics requirement for California, there has to be at least 3 units that comes from a course that has this specific title, Accountant's Professional Responsibility and Ethics. So you will automatically satisfy those 3 units of ethics. And all of the courses in the accounting program are eligible for educational eligibility to sit for the CPA if that's something you're thinking about. Then you'll have core elective courses. You'll get to choose 2 or 6 units of the following. And then the other 2 that you don't choose, you can use towards your electives. So for example, you'll have a choice between advanced financial accounting, auditing is a big area, and accounting information systems, or issues in modern management. Now, one of the things that we made an improvement and a change to our program is, and I didn't talk about it, I kind of rushed forward, is the Accounting 333, which is an introduction to data analytics. Data analytics is, whether you like the thought of data analytics or not, it's becoming an important part of the tax and accounting profession. How is data analytics used in accounting? How do you use data analytics? What kinds of tools are you being used? And so this course will give you an introductory and overview of data analytics specifically for accountants. So that's important because this is definitely an evolving area of accounting that you need to be aware of. And not that you need to be brilliant at data analytics, but you should be able to talk and understand the language when you're in an interview or with your clients, because data analytics is becoming a huge part of the accounting profession. Right now, the Big Four have really embraced it, and some of the other sized firms, like national sized firms, are using it, and others are trying to catch up and start to incorporate data analytics into their workflow. Okay, so we've talked about the 12 units of core courses, and then your elective options for core courses. You get to choose 2 of those 4 listed. You can use the other 2 towards your electives, or you can choose a tax concentration. So a tax concentration includes 4 courses, 12 units, and they're very specific. It walks you through research and communication in tax. It also walks you through advanced individual taxation. You will also have a corporate and partnerships taxation courses options in there. And you will also have an elective option to choose, like internship. And some students do choose to do internship, whether you're doing a tax concentration or you're just doing an accounting elective courses. You can choose elective units to represent internship. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in the next couple of slides, I believe. Okay, so elective courses, you can do tax concentration, or you can choose elective courses from a whole list of other course offerings. In each term, we rotate the offerings, so they are not all of our electives are not offered each term, so that we rotate them term by term based on availability and need. And you can also use internship as an elective course option. This slide is slightly smaller than I thought it would look like, but it kind of outlines what the internship program. A lot of our students want to do an internship because they're looking to either do a change from their current employer to a new employer, and so, or launching their career in accounting. This is a great way to get hired. Most of our students who do internship get hired, and when I say most, I would say probably 95+% of them. It's a great way for you to get hands-on experience, earn credit. You can earn up to 6 units of elective credits. And remember, you have 12 units of elective credits, so you can use up to 6 units as internship credit. You have to have a 3.0 or 3.0 GPA or higher to do an internship. And the work that you do cannot be similar to work that you've performed in the profession. So if you are new to accounting, that's easy because you haven't done any. But if you have some accounting background and you're looking to do an internship, the work that you do cannot be similar to work that you have done. You can use full-time employment for internship credit if it meets the criteria. So we do have some students who do internship at the location where they're currently working, as long as they're supervised by a CPA and the work that they are going to be doing is not similar to work that they are currently doing or have done in the past. We do review all of your requests. This class is not something you automatically register for. It has to go through the approval process. Once you've been approved for the internship, then you will be registered for the class. And we don't guarantee job placement, but I can say that from all of the students that I have supervised on internship, they get placed. So that's a great opportunity. Before I move forward, I'm actually going to go back a slide because I want to talk about some of the new things that we are looking to do in as far as concentrations. So we are working currently on a different concentration and pathways. And one of the things that you might be very interested in is that we're developing courses in conjunction with a CPA review firm organization to offer graduate courses that would help you prep for the CPA exam. So there would be 4 courses designed for students who are planning to sit for the CPA. So you would have an auditing type course. You would have a financial accounting and reporting type course. You would have one that really addresses the BEC exams and the regulatory section of the exams. And these would be graduate level credit earning courses that you can apply towards the electives. You can choose 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of them, or any segment of what you think you need help on. And these would be taught in conjunction with a review program. The other areas that we're actually developing is around data analytics. I got really excited about that data analytics class because I know that it's going to be really important. We're hearing it from our advisory board. We're hearing it from our recruiting professionals who come in here and are looking for students that do have a foundation or knowledge around data analytics. So we'll have courses in advanced accounting and analytics. And we're looking at adding other courses that will be around visualization techniques, so that when you have data, how do you present it? How do you talk about it? How do you communicate information to your clients, to your internal clients, external clients, whoever those decision makers are in the in your organization or outside your organization, so that they can make informed decisions. Because data analytics can be kind of heavy for people. They may not understand how it works, but you should be able to communicate information to decision makers so that they can make the best decisions. And then we also, as I already talked about, we will have the concentration in taxation. So you'll have 3 different three different concentrations. One in taxation that we talked about, the data analytics concentration, and then one that's around prepping for the CPA. The other thing is you don't have to choose a concentration. You can just take courses out of any of those offerings and have 12 units of electives that just satisfy your degree requirements. So got a lot of different options. Again, we are looking at meeting you where you're at and what your needs are. So we don't want to make it so hard and fast and rigid. We want to be flexible about what you're able to take so that it meets your needs. Okay. How can you take courses at Golden Gate University? Again, this is around adult learning. We want to make sure that we address you where you're at. So we do have in-person classes. We have asynchronous online, and we have web conferencing classes. The web conferencing classes are live classes that you attend, but not physically in the classroom. You are wherever you're at, in your home, your office. You Zoom in using the Zoom tool that we're using today, and you attend the live section. You get to engage with your classmates. You get to engage with the professor. You will take your exams online through an proctoring service. There's no on-campus attendance required for web conferencing or asynchronous online. The asynchronous online, you work at the pace that's defined by the professor. So the professor will lay out a week's worth of work, that's considered module, and you do those assignments and activities within the time frame that the professor has guided you on. You get to log in when you need to, or however long when you need to, and whenever, as long as you get the work done within that time frame. Web conferencing, you log in via Zoom on the day that the live session is offered. Your professor is not, the professor is live in the classroom, and you have classmates where you can engage and work with them. So it's a very unique, different modality of teaching and learning that we're using with web conferencing, but it's been well received. We've been doing it for a couple of years, kind of on a trial basis. This spring, we rolled out a lot more courses with web conferencing because we know that this is what students have really benefited from, because they physically can't be in the office or in the classroom, rather, for whatever scheduling or geographic reasons, but they can attend the live session and hear the professor. And the professors will video record their lectures. Most of them will video record their lectures and upload it to the course so that you can watch it even later if you want to go back and re-listen to a lecture. So here is what our online class shell looks like. This is just a sample of one of the classes, and you can see, and this is just a snippet of it. It's not all of the weeks, it's just the first week. You can see that the instructor will upload the bio, the syllabus, which outlines what you need to do for the course. And in the week 1 of this particular class, the professor has a welcome video, has a PowerPoint. This professor also has an assignment They have discussions. So those weekly discussions replace the engaged conversations that you have in person or through web conferencing, because you'll go on, the professor will post a question, you will respond to it, your classmates will respond to you, and you respond to them. So it really kind of replicates what a live discussion would look like, but it's just in a static format. So online works for those who don't want to be kind of restricted to a specific day and time that they have to actually attend the class. Online gives you some flexibilities as long as you meet the deadlines as outlined with the course that you're taking. Professors will also, in the online asynchronous format, they will also record lectures, occasionally upload those, or hold Zoom class sessions so that you can attend and record those lectures, and or office hours. They will hold Zoom office hours. So you do get that live experience with most of the professors. They all do it slightly different. We allow professors to kind of create the classes in the way they see fit, but they take your feedback and they modify each term your feedback into their classes. So it's always evolving. Okay, so we've really talked about the course structure, the materials, the things that you're going to experience in the course, but we do a lot more around what we want to help our students do to be successful. We have professional events. We do a lot throughout the year, and you can attend most of these in person, or most of them you can be attending via Zoom conference. We record a lot of these events, so you can watch them. We post them in your course shells. So when I say course shell, you will have an online course format that will follow your online classes, your web conferencing classes, or your in-person classes also have an online shell, course shell is what we say. And when you log into that, we use Moodle, or we call it e-learning. When you log into your e-learning account, you'll see a class that will be created with all these professional events and the recordings for those events, so that you can watch them if you missed them, or go back and re-listen to them if you got to attend. We do lunch and learn workshops every fall, beginning late July through December. These are industry-led workshops. Also, our professors or our staff lead some of these workshops. They cover a variety of different topics, from networking, resume writing, how to find a job, get a job, to more technical accounting and tax topics. Again, a lot of these are led by our professionals in the industry. They like to get in front of our students so they can start networking, whether you're physically in the class or you're attending via Zoom. There's a lot of different opportunities to do networking. We do industry-related panels and speaker events throughout the university, throughout the year. We're doing another one coming up soon with a trial judge for anybody who's interested in the tax litigation. They will be doing a presentation, and more information will be going out to our student population about that. But we also do different accounting professionals coming in, panels. And so we do so much because we want you to not only have relevant content from the professionals who are working in the industry, but also we want to make sure that you have networking opportunities. Each fall, we do practice business luncheon, which is held here on campus. It's not something you do remotely. It is a networking luncheon on the same day that our fall career fair is held. It's late September. The practice business luncheon is a luncheon that we host with professionals from the industry, from the recruiters that are coming to recruit from the firms for the fall career fair. They send representatives to the luncheon. Each table is paired with 4 students and 4 professionals, so you get to network with somebody, practice your networking skills, meet people, hopefully get some interviews from that luncheon. If not, you also get some valuable feedback from the professionals. They fill out a survey about their experience with you, and you will get that data soon thereafter. So at least you know, as you get into recruitment season and interviewing season, you know what you might want to work on and polishing up as you prep for interviews. The fall career fair, we have at least 30 employers recruiting. Again, it's not just from public accounting. There's government agencies there. There's also nonprofits and private industry represented there. The majority is public accounting. And again, if you can't attend, all of these job opportunities and postings go through our Office of Career Services platform, which as a student you will have access to. And we post jobs that are not only in California, but in other parts. Many of the firms that recruit from us also have offices throughout the country. So you have networking opportunities wherever you look. If you are going to come to San Francisco, the day of the career fair and the practice business luncheon would be that day so that you can attend both events. It's a great opportunity for you to really get face-to-face with somebody and just find out who they are, what they're looking for, and hopefully land an interview or two or three. I like to think about our services as wraparound services because we want to nestle you with so many different services so that you have the opportunity to be successful. You will be assigned an enrollment advisor to Kim while you're in the application process. And then as you go to through your initial 2 weeks of class, after the initial 2 weeks, you will be handed off to a graduate advisor who will continue to work with you in planning your classes throughout the time you're at Golden Gate University. We have tax and accounting tutors who are available in person or via Zoom. All of their information and contact information hours are in your course shells. So when you log into your e-learning platform after becoming an admitted student, you will see where the tax tutoring information is, tax and accounting tutoring information is held. Office of Career Planning is one of the departments you definitely want to partner with and get friendly with. We have great representatives in that office that work closely with us. Their advisors work specifically with our accounting and tax students. They have a whole host of different resources. Here's a sample of some of those resources that you can get access to as you become a student, from interviewing skills, cover letter construction, behavioral interviewing. You know, people sometimes are kind of like quirky about that. Like, I don't know how to do a behavioral interview. So they'll prep you for that. They'll do mock interviews with you. So they get you ready for all of the things that you need to do in order to be successful in recruiting or job searching. They do a lot of events throughout the year. So you have access to those events via web, Zoom, or in person. We do wellness resources. You know, life gets in the way. How do you kind of overcome some of the obstacles that you might confront? There is resources to help you through those challenges. We also have a tax and accounting club that's very active. They, in fact, are doing the VITA program this year. They just launched VITA for this season on Monday. So if you don't know what VITA is, it's a great way to get involved in the community, helping low-income families complete their tax returns. You don't have to be a tax professional to do it. Accounting students are doing it. But the VITA program is a collaborative program through the IRS, and for us, it is United Way Bay Area. And so the VITA program simply stands for Voluntary Income Tax Assistance Program. We also have financial aid that helps you identify scholarships, grants, and different ways to fund your education. If you have an employer, you might want to tap into any resources that your employer might offer for reimbursement or for a higher education. So there's a lot of different things and programs that you might want to think about. Financial aid department will really walk you through that. Chu's going to talk a little bit more about that, and I think it's in the next slide, but let me see. Well, no, we'll talk about admissions requirements first, and I'm going to hand it off to Chu to talk about that, and then the next couple of slides is hers as well.
So, can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So for our Master of Science in Accounting program and our graduate accounting certificates, GMAT is not required, GRE is not required. We will need your official transcript with degree verification, and you would want to have a GPA of 3.0 or better. But even if you have below that GPA, you're still welcome to apply, but in that case, you would want to submit a resume and a statement of purpose addressing the lower grades, what had happened, what has changed, your plans for success, and why you want to come to GGU. In addition to your degree granting institution transcript, it's highly recommended you submit official transcripts for all the different colleges and universities that you attended to maximize transfer credit and get accurate first-term course recommendations if admitted. If your GPA is at least 3.0, the resume is optional. It's recommended but not required. In addition, for international students or those without those whose native language is not English or those with foreign credentials, we will need the English language admission requirement, and there's different ways of satisfying that, such as TOEFL or IELTS. And more information can be found on our website, or you could let me know and I'd be happy to answer also. In addition, if you wanted to get started through open enrollment, you could do so, but none of the requirements, only the English language admission requirement is required for open enrollment. And so we kind of talked about the English language admission requirement for non-native English speakers. Additional ways is if you have 7 years professional experience in the U.S. or English-speaking countries such as Anglophone Canada, you could submit a resume for that. Or if you have a master's or bachelor's degree from a credit institution in the U.S. or English-speaking countries such as Australia, you could submit your official academic documents for those to meet that requirement. So in addition to the English language admission requirement, there's an English 201 graduate writing program requirement, which is needed for students to be able to show, employers that they are able to write at a graduate level. So it's more than being able to speak and understand English, but being able to write really well, which is an important skill to have. If you have a master's or a bachelor's degree from the U.S., this could be waived. We also have the English 201 graduate writing proficiency test if it is not waived. So you could see if you could pass out of the class. And depending on how you score, you could either place into English 200, the prerequisite for English 201, or into English 201. Or if you pass out of it, great, you'll meet that requirement. And again, all of this information can be found on our website with further details. So as Rocco had mentioned previously, there's different ways of financing your education. If you're interested in federal financial aid, you would want to fill out FAFSA at fafsa.ed.gov using GGU's institution code listed there. And you want to fill out GGU's financial aid application as well. In addition to federal financial aid, we offer state aid based on need as well as merit, as well as different scholarships and grants such as the Welcome Scholarship for international students. We also can help with alternative or private loans. Rocco also mentioned that if you have an employer willing to help you with reimbursement, we could work with you and your employer on that. If you are a military student, you could possibly attend GGU with zero out-of-pocket costs. We are part of the Yellow Ribbon program, and military students for that typically need to study full-time, which is 3 courses or 9 units, with 1 course or 3 units spanning the full 15 weeks in person here at GGU for the Bay Area housing allowance. But if you have any questions about military benefits, you could email va@ggu.edu and get more information on that. And you could also check out our financial aid website for more information about all of these. So a 1 unit course is $1,090. Most of our courses are 3 units, so you could multiply that and it'll be $3,270 for a 3-unit graduate course. This does not include costs of books or course materials or fees, such as the 85 technology fee, nor tuition increases. Typically, we have a set tuition rate for the academic year, and it typically increases about 4% each academic year, but it is subject to change as well. If you plan on taking the tax concentration or any tax courses as your elective, it is $1,250 per unit or $3,750 for a 3-unit graduate course for School of Tax currently. But all of this information could be found on our website. There is a application fee of $65, but for all of you in attendance, we'll be emailing you the application fee waiver code so you could save $65 and apply for free. So GGU, we're on a trimester system, fall, spring, and summer. We accept applications on a rolling basis, so there's no set admission deadline, but we do recommend applying sooner than later. You could apply up to a year in advance. I recommend students submit all the required application documents at least 15 business days before registration opens, which for our next available term, summer 2020, is March 16th. But the prior to admission deadline is 15 business days before the term begins, which for summer 2020 is on May 10th. That way you could get registered for classes that you want and take the necessary placement exams if you need it, at least 10 business days before the start of the term, giving enough time for the reviewing and grading and getting the results so that you get into the appropriate classes. If you do have further questions, you could email School of Accounting at accounting@ggu.edu or call their phone number. Or if you're a domestic graduate accounting student, feel free to reach out to me. My email address is ckim@ggu.edu.
Thank you, Chu. I apologize in advance for, or not in advance, but apologize for the flipping of the slides. My mouse got out of control. So we covered a lot of information and I went really fast because I wanted to give time for Q&A at the very end. But I did cover a lot of information and maybe I talked really, really fast. So we will send out a copy of this presentation after the webinar, and you will get the video as well as the slide presentation. But I'm going to open it up to Q&A. So feel free to ask me questions or ask Chu questions. If you want to chat in the chat box, you can do that. I'll read them out loud and respond out loud so that if other students or other attendees have that same question, they'll hear the answer. Or you can unmute your microphone and ask the question out loud. So go ahead, ask questions.
I have a quick question. This is Carla.
Hi, Carla.
Hello. So mainly this program, is it for full-time students? Can it be a part-time students? Is it friendly for folks that are working full-time?
Yes, it is. Yes, yes, and yes. So you can take it full-time. Full-time for financial aid in a graduate program is 4 units, but all our classes are like 3. So that would be 2 classes to consider for financial aid. Some students do take 3 classes as full-time, but you can take 1 class if you want. So that's okay. But if you take anything less than 4 units, I don't believe you would qualify for federal financial aid.
Thank you.
So I left enough time, like 15 minutes, to ask questions. So let's ask questions. And again, I apologize, I went really, really fast. Are there any fringe benefits for students? I think well, how do you mean that question, fringe benefits? Can you explain that question? Perks. Outside of the program, it's like student insurance. I don't know all about the different insurance. We are not a traditional university where we have like sports teams or anything like that. But there is clubs, there's activities, there's events that you get to attend for free, by the way. I should have said that before. All the events that I described are free. All of our services are free. So it's not hard. It's not going to be hard on your wallet. You just pay for the tuition and other service fees. Everything else is free. You have books cost. But as far as other benefits for programs, we do have like discounts through If you're when you become an admitted student, I think there's discounts to like Microsoft products and Apple products, perhaps. I don't remember all of those details. But if you go to our website, there's more explanation on that. And Chu, maybe you can send out an email, or when we send out the email with the code and all that, maybe we can include a link to some of the student discounts that are provided. I don't know all of them off the top of my head. Accounting foundation courses are only taken if you haven't taken them elsewhere. The degree program itself is 30 units. So if you take additional courses on top of that because you didn't satisfy them, either in your undergraduate degree or through a community college, then it would be those additional units. So if you've taken an undergraduate, financial accounting or managerial accounting, whether at community college or elsewhere, then you would, those would be waived for you, so you wouldn't need to take those courses. Kevin, I hope that answers your question.
Hi, this is Carolina from Florida.
Carolina.
I have a question about the tuition and fees. So I work for a university that has a contract with GGU where tuition is paid for, but it does not cover the books and fees. Mm-hmm. Can you give me an estimate as to if I'm taking, let's say, 2 courses, around the cost of books?
Well, it's going to depend on the, it's going to depend on the courses. I think we have some information that we can send to you. I don't have that data right in front of me, and I don't want to misquote. Chu, do you have an idea of what it would be? That's a good question. I get that question every once in a while, and I forget to look and see what like the average cost of our books are.
I think it's going to depend on where you get it and what books it is. Some students, they just purchase it online, like through Amazon, because they find it cheaper. If you get it like an electronic book, that tends to be cheaper than like the actual physical book. So it's gonna vary, but I'll include the bookstore link in the chat box. Oh, okay. So I don't have to actually purchase the books from the school. I can go like Amazon or other websites.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's great.
Yes, absolutely. That's a great question. So you don't have to buy the books through the bookstore, and often students, like Chu said, find them less expensive or used through another book vendor of some sort, online book vendor. Sunyoung Kim asks, can I have 1 year OPT, which is optional work permit in the US after I complete this course? International students who are on F1 visas will get 1 year of OPT. And yes, your advisor will walk you through the OPT process, how that works. If you do an internship, you use CPT, and it is for the term. So you can take up to 6 units of CPT credit as an elective as elective courses. And then after you finish the program, you get 1 year of OPT. All good questions. Thank you. Keep them coming. So like I was talking about, and I kind of really rattled off some of the changes, we are looking for adding courses that will help students prepare for the CPA exams, which is important. And I can't stress enough that a lot of the firms are going to ask that a question around, are you eligible to sit for the CPA, which means you've met the educational requirements, which are 24 units of accounting subject and 24 units of business subjects. Or have you met the 150 hours? So this degree will give you the additional 30. Most undergraduate degrees are about 120, so that will get you to 150. Plus the courses will help satisfy the different parts of the educational requirements to sit for the CPA, as well as to be licensed in California. Other states have different licensing requirements, so I can't speak to those, but for California, they have a few more requirements. So we are looking to do the CPA type courses. You could do a certificate in that area, or and then also an advanced accounting and analytics So those are some other areas that we're focusing on. I'd like to get some feedback. What do you think about that? Are those things that you would be interested in? You know, let me know. Unmute your microphone or chat. Like, does this sound appealing? Because that's what we're getting from our some other feedback from other prospects as well as from our employers.
I think for me, this is Carla. I'm just really undecided, but I feel like if I'm already going to be doing a master's in accounting, might as well go into taking the CPA.
Yes.
But I also work in a nonprofit, and the reality is I can't see myself working for a corporate. So I'm just kind of like, well, I am gonna go into debt for this master's in accounting, and usually folks do go into the CPA. So I'm just trying to navigate that and be like, is this the correct program? Does this make sense? If I want to continue working for the nonprofit, world.
Absolutely. Those are all great questions. I think it does make sense. And I'm not saying it just because I'm sitting representing Golden Gate University, because, we do talk to the nonprofit recruiters, and, it does make sense. It also isn't imperative that you have a CPA exam, but it would be helpful because when it comes to signing off on audits and attestations, that's going to be important that you have that certification. It is, the gold mark or the gold standard for, accounting professions. Some of the private sectors don't require people in higher level of accounting professions, positions rather, to have a CPA, but we really encourage it. It's not just for public accounting.
Right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And we do have some courses in nonprofit accounting, by the way, which you might find elective courses. You might
that's
find,
cool.
You might find beneficial. We do have a couple of professors who work in the nonprofit sector teaching that. And one of our other professors he's retired from government. He worked for like 26 years in government accounting. And how soon after have alumni students passed the C? That's a hard question to answer because it varies. I've had students who are studying it while they're doing the courses. They do a prep service. So we're trying to, work with some prep companies that provide prep services for the CPA to work with our new graduate courses that I've been talking about. But we do have students who do it while they're in school and pass them. Some wait until the very end because they can't manage that plus family, work, and school. So it really depends on the individual. So there's no specific data I have to give you that says 20% of our students do this or 80% do this. So. Do you have offer of discounts to CPA prep courses? So a couple of things happen. If you are hired by a firm, most firms, and I say a very high percentage of them, are partnered with a firm or an accounting prep service, CPA prep service already. And so they will pay for it in some form of a program that they have. Some of the prep services offer our students discounts, so you would just have to call them. I don't have a list of who provides discounts because that changes often. Some do, some don't. But we do have like Rogers, Becker, Gleim have in the past offered our students discounts. Wiley, I think, also have offered our students discount. And this is another reason why we want to start incorporating courses that are specific to preparing you for the CPA. Now, the other courses that you take, don't teach specifically to pass the CPA, but they have the content they cover is going to be found on the CPA exam. So professors are really good at pointing out, hey, this question in audit will be found in the audit. You'll probably likely have this as a question in your audit exam, or the BEC, or regulatory, or FAR. So you will see where they will highlight these types of questions or content that you're studying as relevant to the CPA exam. So we have about 4 more minutes, and I just want to keep it open for Q&A. If you have any questions, this is the time to ask. Again, we'll send a recording of this video and presentation afterwards, but get your questions answered now. And I will put my email address in the chat box should you have questions that you want to reach out to me about. And I encourage you to, use this information. Call me, email me. I mean, well, you can email me, and then you'll see my tagline. You can call me. My door is kind of always open, so I'm always excited to talk to students or prospective students. If you think you've gotten everything you need to get out of this presentation, I just want to say thank you for attending. I know that it's an hour out of your day, and it's probably a very busy day, so we're really grateful for your attendance. You're welcome to drop off, but if you want to stay on and you have other questions, please ask. Oh, and Flora Lee, thank you, is available to answer questions for international students. Her email address is flee@ggu.edu. So if you are, thank you for joining, Flora. I didn't realize you were on the call. So if you are interested in getting more information about being an international student here at Golden Gate University, contact her and she can walk you through all of that information and process. So we'll hang out for a couple more minutes. If you have questions, please ask them. Otherwise, you're free to go. Okay, we will go ahead. It doesn't look like we have any questions. We'll go ahead and sign off. Again, I really appreciate you attending this webinar. We hope that you got everything out of it that you wanted to. But if not, you have our contact information. Please reach out to us. And we'll be sending this along with a application waiver code in the next day or so. Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.